Hello boys, welcome back to another session of video tutorials, and this session is meant for class 11th biology students, and this is for 25th June 2021. And as we have been discussing about chapter number 1, the living world, we have been analyzing and dealing with various taxonomic aids. In our previous classes, we were talking about the hierarchy of taxonomy. We call it taxonomical hierarchy. And we also said that in order to have clarity on taxonomy, that is classification of organisms, we require the help of certain taxonomical aids such as herbarium, botanical garden, museum, zoological park. So it is basically the techniques, procedures and stored information that are useful in identification and classification of organisms is called taxonomical aids. So basically herbarium is a collection of plants that usually have been dried, pressed and preserved on sheets for reference. Standard size is around 41 centimeters into 29 centimeters, and the large herbarium of the world is at Kew, Kew. I have said yesterday that you can do individually. You can pick up a notebook, in between the pages you can, let's say for example, leaves, varieties of leaves you collect, and put the leaf in between two pages of each 2 pages in the notebook and keep some weight on that. You can see after say 22 weeks you can see the dried leaves, and then stitch it and start writing about its features. So you will have a collection of variety of leaves. So basically herbarium is a storehouse of collected plant specimens that are dried, pressed and preserved on sheets. And then related to this herbarium, we can have some questions also. Like for example, we have some questions like study the following statements regarding the preparation of herbarium sheets. 1. Plant should be collected in flowering stage. Every detail regarding the plant such as locality, ecological condition, vegetative and floral characters should be noted. Plants are evenly pressed by unfolding all the plant parts between blotting papers or newspapers with the help of plant pressers. Blotting papers need not be changed until the plant gets dried. After drying, the plant's specimen is carefully mounted or pasted on the herbarium sheets. The herbarium sheet is labeled on the lower right hand corner, representing the number of plant specimen and of course date of collection. So these are the various steps that we can take out during the formation of or during the making of herbarium. And in case of botanical garden, of course, it is a specialized garden having collection of live specimens, plants grown for identification purpose. The plants are labeled with botanical or scientific name and family. So botanical gardens mainly serve the purpose of providing the ex situ conservation of germplasm. It's a natural habitat for wildlife. And the botanical gardens, like study the following statements regarding significance of botanical gardens and select the incorrect one. See, the question is incorrect one. These help in growing important plants of local flora and keeping their record. A. B. These help in providing living plant material for research work. C. These help in growing and maintaining rare and endangered plants. Of course, none of this. So you can see that the questions like this may come about the botanical garden. And arboretum is a part of botanical gardens where bonsai are made. B. Beautification is done. C. Palms are grown. And D. Big trees are cultivated in the form of forest. So Then we go to the third one, that is biological museums. Museums have collection of preserved plant and animal specimens, and they help in study and ready reference. It is set up in educational institutions, museum, specimens preserved in containers like in our biology lab, and we are seeing jars in the preservative solutions. Both plants and animals can be preserved. It can be dry specimen, insect boxes after collecting. It is pinning the animals, and of course we have got in our lab stuffed animals also. And of course all of you have seen the skeleton of animals. So the biological museum, basically there can be statements like read the following statements regarding biological museums, and which of the above statements are incorrect. He is asking about incorrect. 1. Biological museums are generally set up in educational institutions such as schools and colleges. Museums have collections of preserved plant and animal specimens for study and reference. Specimens are preserved in the containers or jars in preservative solutions. Insects are preserved in insect boxes after collecting and killing and pinning. Larger animals like birds and mammals are usually stuffed and preserved. Skeletons of mammals are not allowed to be kept in museums. Of course, you must have guessed the answer already. So this is how the taxonomical aids such as this will help us. And another one is the zoological park. Of course, zoological parks are the places where wild animals are kept in protected under human care. They learn food habits and behavior of the animal. Animal behavior can be studied. Conditions are provided as animals' natural habitat. So the zoological park will be made closer to the natural habitat. Basically, the statements are questions like zoological parks are the places where wild animals are kept in protected environments under human care, and that enables us to learn about their food habits and behavior. Statement 2 is adequate arrangements for the treatment, medication, regular checkup, and pathological investigations are absolutely necessary to be made for health care and upkeep of the animals. So both statements 1 and 2 are correct. Statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 is correct. Both statements 1 and 2 are correct. So like this, there can be some questions on that. And we come to the next one, that is key. Key is another taxonomical aid used for identification of plants as well as animals. This is for both. And it is, the key is basically on similarities as well as dissimilarities that are exhibited. So based on contrasting character, contrasting means, like for example, you are wearing a black pant to that white shirt, then it is contrasting character. Generally in pair, and the contrasting characters, if they are in pair, we use the word couplet. That key is called couplet. Represent choice between two opposite options, like accepting one and rejecting another. And each statement that is accepted will give a lead for us. So separate taxonomic keys, each taxonomic category like family, genus, species, all will help us in identification purpose. So it is analytical in nature. Lot of logic and reasoning will be involved in key. So the keys with logic and analysis help easy identification and classification of animals. Let's take one example. For example, a taxonomic key is a device that biologists use to figure out what unknown organisms actually are. The key is made up so that you answer a series of questions about the characteristics and an answer is narrowed down. For example, take for example character dry skin. Now you have got contrasting answers. What is that? Animal not having, no. Animal having. Okay, if animal not having dry skin, see salamander, we are arriving at that. If the dry skin is there, whether the animal has got dry skin, yes. Next character is hair. Over the dry skin, is there any hair? No hair. Then we say lizard. and we say yes, hair is there, and along with the hair, opposite thumbs will be there, opposable thumbs will be there. If opposable thumbs are no, then it is we are arriving at the answer tiger. Yes, that means next character we are taking is bipedal, whether the animal walks on two legs. We say no, then gorilla. If it is yes, bipedal, that means look at this, all the answers here, yes, yes, yes. Finally we are arriving at another animal, human being. So this is how keys will work with a lot of logic and analysis. And every key at every stage will have a couplet, and the couplet will give a lead. So there are three words: key, couplet, lead, and finally lead gives us answers. Hence this is how we use various terms like taxonomical keys to arrive at the classification. So we'll see in the next class some more keys